Well, hey guys, today we're in the studio with Tony and we're talking about trusting in God through cancer. So Tony, why don't you start just by telling us a little bit about yourself?
No, okay. First off, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
I want to let everybody know that I am a Christian, and since I get the opportunity to make a video, I want to put that straight first. I put my faith in Jesus, that he died for my sins. I am a sinner, just like everybody else,
Yeah.
and I have faith that I will go to heaven when I die. We want to talk about cancer since that's been consuming my life the last couple of years. A couple of years ago, I had a little earache on the left side. After a series of visits to a few doctors, we found a lump on the back of my tongue and on my tonsil. They did a tonsillectomy and confirmed that I had squamous cell carcinoma in that left tonsil, back of my tongue, and a couple lymph nodes in my neck. After the tonsillectomy healed, we went into chemotherapy and radiation, which consisted of 8 weeks chemotherapy and 35 radiation treatments, which pretty well burned everything in my throat. I couldn't swallow, couldn't eat, had a feeding tube, lost 35 pounds, constant pain 24/7. You know, and through this first process of being initially diagnosed with cancer, I had to start questioning things. You know, why me? I got angry. Mm-hmm. You know, why have I got cancer? Mm-hmm. Why, you know, is God punishing me for things? And then I just started realizing, after talking to a couple people and looking around, that cancer is an indiscriminate disease. Mm-hmm. It gets everyone, regardless of your situation. God loves me. He wasn't punishing me. It's just what I ended up having to deal with.
How long, Tony, did it take you to come to that real? I'm sure a lot of people watching this with cancer or with loved ones who have cancer have gone through that same reaction. Why me? Why did this happen to me? You look at other people who are healthy and maybe you start asking, maybe I did something wrong. What would you say to those people who are in that place still struggling?
Well, first you have to look around and say, hey, cancer hits everybody. Innocent little kids you see on TV. It just happens. It's part of life, like growing up. You'll get it or you won't get it. I lived a pretty clean life, moderation. I thought I did everything right. Cancer would never get me. I planned for years and years, decades of retirement and fun and being healthy, and then all of a sudden you get hit. You don't know. While I was down and in pain, I prayed a lot, almost all the time. God, take this pain from me. I can't deal with this pain. Take this pain from me. You know, I did ended up dealing with the pain, and he didn't take it from me. And the purpose of this treatment was to try and cure me. And after about 6 months after the treatment, and I got the feeding tube out, great diet plan, 30 pounds lighter. One thing I got out of that initial deal, that you may too, is all the things I used to take for granted. Being able to eat is a joy. You don't realize how big a joy that is. Waking up in the morning and seeing the blue sky. Waking up and seeing the puffy clouds and your family around you, and being able to get out and do things. All those things, being healthy my whole life, I took for granted. Now, I don't know if that was a lesson I was supposed to learn, but it is a lesson I took from this.
And so you came out of that then with a new lease on life.
Life is good. Grab every moment of good you can. You get an opportunity to say things to your loved ones that perhaps you never have, and your friends. I try anymore. Anytime I see somebody do something wonderful or good, I tell them about it, because we go through life and we just don't do that. So I think I have changed that way.
So how long for you then, Tony, were you in remission?
Well, a couple of months after they finished, they did a PET scan. They couldn't see anything. I went to the doctor every month to look at that area of my throat. They said there's no tumors. I thought I was doing fine. A year after the treatment was over, I went in for a follow-up. Well, the follow-up wasn't good. It came back and I had a couple tumors on my liver, and I have a tumor on one of my ribs. And I remember that fateful day when after we went into the doctor and he was telling us the results, and he sits us down, and it was a tough day. He says, you've got cancer, it's metastasized, we can't cure you. We can help your quality of life, extend things, but we can't cure you. And I said, okay, let's get on with the other things. I mean, this has been tough for my family and I, and so we started a second cancer treatment regimen. Now I'm just finished about 4 months. I got one more treatment left. The tumors are shrinking. The doctors are doing what they can. I pray every day, God, if it's your will, cure me. Do what the doctors can't. But a lot of people die. I'm a realist. If God decides to cure me, maybe there's a purpose for me beyond that. If He decides not to cure me, maybe my purpose is right here, right now, being able to leave a story for people, try to be an example for people. But the one thing I haven't lost, and I'm assured of, is I got my faith in Jesus, and I'm going to heaven. And I live my life that even though I'm a sinner, He loves me, and I'll deal with this the best I can. So, that's pretty much my story. I don't know what's in store. I keep thinking, I'll live a few years and collect those Social Security checks. But if not, so be it.
Well, Tony, what's so amazing to me, and people heard that right now, you said that so beautifully. The way, in the midst of this, the way you trust God, just the way you articulated that right there. In fact, I encourage you to rewind that video and listen to how Tony just articulated that. To me, that is the perfect picture of trusting God. It seems like you're not angry at Him. You're not. I'm sure that you're praying to Him. You're hopeful that He heals you, but you also see the other side of it. So that to me, it's such a beautiful picture of how a follower of Jesus, how a Christian should trust God or can trust God even in the midst of what you're dealing with. And I know it's been brutal for you and your wife and your family, and still just to hear because I talk to a lot of people who deal with illness and death, and it's not that. They're angry at God. They've turned their back at the time when you need Him the most. They turn their back on God. So I guess the question for you, if you could leave us with one more word of encouragement for people watching this, how did you get to a place where you can trust God with that kind of an attitude? Was it immediate?
Well, no.
And how did you get there?
No. And and I'll be one of those. Some days you worry a little bit and you hope your faith is enough and say, God, help me with my unbelief. And but no, we're all given a finite number of days.
Yeah.
We don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes we go through life and we don't grab the things God has put in front of us, and pretty soon your life is over. Besides all the turmoil, there's blessings here. Yeah. I get a chance to make sure that everybody that I'm around and I know how I feel about them. I get this time knowing that I might not have as long a time as others to live life to the fullest when I wake up and enjoy every moment with my wife, appreciate my relationship with her and my children. Yeah. Some people don't get that opportunity. Yeah. And you end up and you die one day and you never have a chance to make sure that you left things right. Yeah. I got nothing else. I believe God. Yeah. And I'm going to trust in Him, and I'm going to believe I'm going to go to heaven and wait for my loved ones when they show up.
That's awesome. Well, Tony, your faith and your example is so incredible. And I want to just say to anyone watching this, if you're watching this, it's probably because you have a loved one. Maybe you're even watching this with someone, and that's why we're making this video, is to encourage people. I wanted you to hear Tony's story. And what we're going to do in the next video, Tony, we're going to do another video with you. We're going to dig into that, how to be sure that you're going to be in heaven. Because to me, that's an important topic for someone in this place. And you started this video by saying you're sure and and we're going to unpack that together in the next video. So I encourage you, stick around or watch the very next video that Tony and I do together, because we're going to answer that question, especially for those of you who are there dealing with this issue and you're not sure what's on the other side. So we'll see you in the next video.